Hey, y'all, welcome to this Prosperity Tax Solutions overview. In this overview, I want to explain to you why I believe that the income tax industry or becoming a tax preparer is one of the best things you can do to earn additional income. I'm talking about if you're out there looking for a side hustle, a gig, or even a totally new career change. I think that the income tax industry is a great industry and definitely well worth you taking a look. In addition to that, I want to explain to you why I feel Prosperity Tax Solutions is one of the best companies in this industry for you to get involved with and take advantage of what we have to offer. So let me jump right on into the presentation. My name is C. Aziz Muhammad. I go by Coach Cam, and I'm a proud father of three adult children. So as you can see pictured here in the top right, that's me and my three adult children. I like to say I got grown kids now, but I also have a grown 8-year-old granddaughter, right? She thinks she grown, right? So that's a picture of my grandbaby there. I got started in the industry back in 1999. So I know I'm kind of telling my age by saying that, but I was working as an independent insurance agent, a PNC agent, had a office downtown Greensboro, was selling auto insurance and homeowners insurance and all that good stuff, everything that comes along with being a PNC agent. But I was having trouble making ends meet. And, I didn't have a problem with working hard. I had a great work ethic. All right. I'm a former Marine, or I shouldn't even say former, because once a Marine, always a Marine, right? So I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. So I wasn't no stranger to hard work, but I was just new to the industry and just having trouble making ends meet. Well, one day a gentleman strolled into my office and he asked me, have I ever considered doing taxes? And I hadn't up until that point. So I said no. And he went on to tell me about how it was easy to get involved with. I already had a customer base, and he was going to show me how to market those services to my existing clients. And, to make a long story short, I got involved and I made a nice little bit of money my first year out. It definitely helped me make ends meet. I got super excited about it. And then in my second year, I doubled my money. In my third year, I doubled again, and I haven't looked back since. So I've been in this industry for a long time now, so I definitely can tell you something about the tax industry. Now, I like to say, like that farmers commercial back in the day, a few years back, they used to say, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. So I've seen a thing or two, so I know a thing or two about this industry, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So it wasn't my lifelong dream to be a tax professional, right? Kind of got involved by accident. Somebody just strolled in my office one day. But my choice to become a tax professional has put me in a position to live a dream lifestyle. And when I say dream lifestyle, I'm talking about I get up when I wake up. I go to sleep when I get tired. I don't have to worry about punching the clock. When I want to go, I go. When I want to come, I come. It's just that freedom there, and that's one of the things I love about this industry. And you have the ability to make an unlimited amount of income. It just depends on you and how hard you want to get out here and work. All right. So before I get deep into this presentation, one of the things I like to do right up front is to address some of the common myths and misconceptions and fears about becoming a tax preparer, because there's a lot of gossip and a lot of misinformation out there. So I want to address some of that stuff right up front so that you can go into this presentation with an open mind. So one of the things you hear people say is I need to be great at math. That's not true. You don't have to be great at math, okay? Because the type of software we use will do all the math for you. That's just like me saying that's just like me telling you got to be good at math in order to use a calculator. You don't have to be good at math in order to use a calculator, right? So there's no algebra, no calculus, or none of that stuff here in tax preparation. So you can just throw that out of the window. You don't have to be good at math. I need a college degree, or I need a CPA license, or something like that. No, you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to be a CPA. You don't need a degree or certification or any of that. Now, we do recommend you getting certified. We do have training courses and stuff like that for you to take. But my point is, you don't have to go out and get some fancy college degree. Well, you don't have to already be educated or have high learning to get started with prosperity tax solutions or in the tax industry at all. It's too hard to learn. No, it's not. It's not too hard to learn. Plus, you're going to have a great team of people that's going to wrap their arms around you. They're going to mentor you and they're going to help you to know and learn everything you need to know. Just think about everybody that you know that prepares taxes right now. Just take a mental, just make a mental list of everybody that you know that prepare taxes. Everybody knows somebody that prepare taxes. If you've ever walked into a tax office, think back, look around in your mind, look at all the preparers that are working in there. Now, I know you can't tell me that those people are smarter than you, right? Some of those people that are working in some of these tax offices don't look like they can read sometimes. So it's like, no, you don't. It's not hard to learn. If they're doing it, you can do it, right? So throw that out of the window. It's too expensive to start. No, it's not. So you can get started with us for less than it'll cost for you to sit down with your family at a nice restaurant and have a meal. If you go take your whole family out to a restaurant, have a meal, you'll pay more there than you'll pay getting started in this business. So now I'm not talking about a meal at McDonald's, right? I'm talking about a nice restaurant, all right? So I'll get in trouble with the IRS. You won't get in trouble with the IRS unless you intentionally are doing something crazy. If you're following the system, all right, staying compliant, and we're going to show you how to do that. You don't have to worry about ever getting in trouble with the IRS. People you hear about getting in trouble with the IRS are doing some unethical stuff, right? Stuff they know they shouldn't be doing. That's why they get in trouble with the IRS. As long as you're not going to be doing any of that stuff, you're not going to have anything to worry about. We're going to show you how to be compliant, and that is a big thing in this industry. You got to be compliant, but it's not so big that you have to worry about it. We're going to show you what to do. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. There's too much competition. Listen, we don't compete, we create. I'm going to say that again. We don't compete, we create. It's enough out there in the world, in the universe for everybody to be wealthy. It really is. You don't have to worry about if your next door neighbor is doing taxes. It's still enough clients out there for you to get paid and to get paid well. Over 160 million returns are filed annually. And most of these people go to some tax professional to get their taxes done. It's enough to go around, right? When Burger King come across the street from McDonald's, they don't say, well, it's too much competition. No, it's not too much competition. It's just your limited thinking, right? It's enough for everybody. I can't get clients. Listen. I know that's how you feel. I know that's how you feel. But we got a system in place and we've improved it. The system that we have in place today is even better than the system we just used coming out of this last tax season. We've made so many improvements. We got trainings on marketing and how to use social media. And listen, you're not going to have a problem getting clients. Just follow our step-by-step system. I only make money during tax season. Well, that could be true for some, but we're going to show you how to make money all year long over here at Prosperity Tax Solutions. Okay, because there's other things we're going to teach you how to do. We're even going to teach you how to go out and in market software if you want to learn how to do that, and recruit new tax professionals to build your team if you want to learn how to do that. Nothing is mandatory, but you do have those options when you work with Prosperity Tax Solutions. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to overcome imposter syndrome. See, it's all in your head, right? And a couple years back, you really didn't hear the word imposter syndrome, but now this imposter syndrome thing is like real, real common. You hear that a lot out here these days. All right, so imposter syndrome is the internal experience of believing that you are not as competent, intelligent, or capable as others perceive you to be, and that eventually you'll be found out as fraud. Listen, we're going to teach you how to overcome imposter syndrome. All right. So just clear your mind, have an open mind. If you come and work with us, we're going to give you everything you need to know, and you'll be able to go out there and feel confident. And we got your back. All right. So don't worry about that. So why this industry? Why the tax industry? You get to earn a full-time income in like 4 months, right? You can earn what most people earn in a year in 3, 4 months of the year, right? And I've been doing that for a long time, right? I've been earning what the majority of people out there earn. It take them a full 12 months to earn. I earned it in 3, 4 months, right? I actually earn more than most people earn in a full year. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I'm just simply saying that opportunity is available for you as well. Okay, it's a recession-proof industry. It doesn't matter if the economy is doing good or doing bad. People got to file their taxes, and more people look for help during hard times. All right, when it comes to tax savings and how to save some money and keep that hard-earned money in their pocket than they do in good times. So it's a recession proof. You're gonna always have something to do. Low startup, high return. I just told you the cost is like a cost of a meal, but you can make a full-time salary in 3 to 4 months, and you only paid the cost of a great meal for you and your family to get started. No experience needed. Like I said, we're going to train you, equip you with professional software, and help you get your PTN so that you can get started fast and grow confidently. You get to work from home, right? Or mobile or wherever you are. Look, it's wherever you want to be. You can work from there. As long as you got a device and an internet connection, you can go to work. So you can be on the beach somewhere enjoying life and running your business, and it doesn't even matter, right? And then we can even teach you how to scale to a full-time business ownership. So you can start solo, you can grow a team, and eventually open a virtual, or even if you want to do a brick and mortar office, we can show you how to do that too. So you don't have to always be a preparer. All right, we can take you from being a new preparer to a business owner, or ERO, or EFIN holder running a major $1 million business. All right. However, as big as you want to grow, we got you here at Prosperity Tax Solutions through our parent company, New Wealth Society. So why now? Every year over 160 million tax returns are filed. Like we talked about that. So why not get you a slice of that pie? All right. So why choose Prosperity Tax Solutions? Because this is a great industry, but why us in this industry? So whether you're looking for extra income or to launch a new career, PTS offers an unmatched opportunity to build wealth, freedom, and purpose on your own terms. So let's talk about what we offer. We have elite all-in-one tax software. Okay, you're going to be able to do unlimited e-files, no hidden fees. You're going to be able to run a paperless office with secure document management. We're going to give you software, tech support. All right, we've got your back. Like I said, bank product integration. So just like any other major tax office out there, you'll be able to offer everything that they offer. You'll be able to collect the fees, up out of the bank product, so your client don't have to pay out of pocket. We can do advances up to $7,000, and that may even go up, right? So everything that a major tax franchise can do out there, you will be able to do the same thing from the comfort of your home or wherever you are. We also have a convenient mobile app where your clients will be able to access their tax return. They'll be able to upload documents, all the source documents that you need, like ID, Social Security card, W-2s, all that stuff. They'll be able to upload that through their mobile app right to your secure portal, and you'll be operating just like the big boys, all right, because you are one of the big boys. So then we have our comprehensive tax training. So we're going to show you how to get access to free training that's basic and advanced, right? So you don't have to worry about feeling like you don't know what you're doing. But even after that training, we're going to be there to hold your hand step by step and to guide you and make sure that you're successful in this industry. We also going to give you access to our private members only Facebook community where you can network and grow with like-minded peoples and get support and motivation and Q&A and all that stuff. Then our proven marketing, right? This has improved so much since last year. I'm so excited about our marketing system. All right, so we're going to teach you how to offer. We're going to teach you offer magnet mastery. And this is how you can create irresistible, high converting tax offers and attract clients like a magnet. We're going to show you our referral rocket blueprint. This is a step-by-step system to generate consistent, high quality referrals, our client expansion code, learn how to 10x client value and retention. We're going to give you our prospect and power plays. We're going to give you our list empire formula. We're going to give you our social media system, all of this, and you're getting everything here for less than the cost of a great meal for you and your family. So, bonuses. You get to work from home anywhere. You get business mindset and success coaching. You get access to year-round income opportunities. Like, if you want to get into bookkeeping, if you want to get into credit repair, if you want to get into helping people form their businesses, recruiting, overrides, etc. We got so much to offer here, right? This presentation will be way too long if I dug into everything, but just know we got your back. And one of the most lucrative compensation plans in the industry, right? We got a tiered compensation plan that's going to blow the socks off of the other compensation plans in this industry. So let's talk a little bit about that. But before I jump into the numbers, I definitely got to give you this little disclaimer because obviously nothing is guaranteed, right? I don't know how hard you're going to work. I can't say you're going to make the same thing that your neighbor made. I can't say that you're going to make the same thing that I made because it's all up to your efforts. So all numbers represented are for illustration purposes only. I had to do this disclaimer because I don't know how hard or how little you're going to work. So I can't tell you exactly what you're going to make, but let me give you some hypothetical type situations, right? But here's our comp plan. All right, this is actual. This is not hypothetical. This is our comp plan, right? I love this comp plan. So I don't know of any other tax preparer in the industry that has the ability to go to 90% commission their first year out the door, right? Nobody's paying out 90% commissions, meaning a 90-10 split. The preparer getting 90, the company only keeping 10%. Nobody's doing that. But we're doing that here at Prosperity Tax Solutions. So you can get started as a brand new preparer on a 50-50 contract, right? And that's only on funded returns 1 through 10. On that 11th funded return, you're making 60%, right? And then on the 26th funded return, you're making 70%. And then it just keeps going up. And as you can see, you don't have to be doing big numbers to advance through our compensation plan. We made these numbers to where the average person can hit them if they take their opportunity in their business serious and they go out there and work hard, right? So 50 to 100, you making 80%. All right, 101 to 200, you making 85%. And over 201, you making from 201 plus, you're making 90% commission. No, it's unheard of. Now, if you're an Ethan holder, a business owner, obviously this don't apply to you. That's a totally different. You're getting paid 100% of your money because you're the company owner. But I'm talking about preparers that I don't know anywhere where you can go sit down in somebody else's office or work for somebody remotely and they pay you 90% of the commissions on a return. All right, let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's break these numbers down a little bit more. So let me show you why this, even starting at 50% and progressing through our compensation plan, is better than someone who is just on a 70-30 contract, right? And that's what they get for the entire season. So I know people right now, they're working on a 70-30 contract. Yeah, they're getting 70%, and that's good money, right? That's good money. But that's all they're going to get for that year is 70%. They don't have the ability to progress through up to 90%. So let's assume $375 is the prep fee. If you were making 70%, you're going to be making $262.50 per funded return. Let's say you had 150 funded returns. You made $39,375 for the tax season. That's not bad. I'm gonna clap for that. That's not bad, right? You did 150 returns, 3 to 4 months, and you done made almost 40,000. That's pretty good. That's what I'm talking about, a full-time salary in 3 to 4 months. That's pretty darn good. So that's nothing to sneeze at or to laugh at. But let's look at how it works if you're in our progressive tiered compensation plan. So you would start off at 50%. A brand new preparer, no experience, would start off with 50%, right? On the first 10 returns, they're making 50%. That's 187.50, assuming a 375 prep fee, right? So that's 1875. But guess what? They get promoted to 60%. So we're going to assume that this person here did 150 returns and this person in our system did 150 returns. All right, but on return 11, now they at 50%. I mean 60%, 225 a return. That's an additional 33.75. 70%, that's an additional 6,562. I'm gonna skip on through this because I don't want this video to be that long. You can pause it and look at this chart if you want to. All right. By the time they get to 51 returns, they're at 80%. We're talking about $15,000. And then their last 50 returns, they're at 85%. We're talking about $318 is in their pocket. $15,937.50. This is, and then, oh, I almost forgot. And we even have a bonus here, right? Anytime you do 50 returns or more, on that 50, we're going to give you a $10 bonus for every return retroactive. So let's say at the end of the year, you've done 150 returns. We're going to give you $10 times 150. That's another $1,500. That's called back end money, right? I don't know of any other company that's giving their regular preparers. Now, I know EFIN holders and EROs and they're getting back end money all day, right? But I'm talking about just a regular preparer. I don't know anybody giving y'all back end money. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just haven't ran into that situation yet. So you're going to get $10 back end money if you achieve a minimum of 50 to get that, right? So 150 returns, you're picking up $1,500 on the back end money. That's a total of $44,250. Now, is that more than 39,000 for that person who said, "Hey, I'm doing better because I got a 70% contract"? Well, at first glance, you think you're doing better. But if you progress through our compensation plan, you're not doing better. You're actually making 4,000, about $4,200 less, right? $4,200 less. And that's if you started at 50%. But guess what? If this person right here came to me and showed me their numbers and can prove to me they did 150 last year, guess what? I'm going to start them off at the 70% contract, right? They deserve it. They're coming in with clients, a proven history. So let's see how it plays out if they start at a 70% contract in our compensation plan. So they get started at 70 and they make 13,125 before they progress to the 80%. The numbers still work the same. You can't go from 70 to 80 until you hit, the minimum amount of returns to get to 80, right? So now that's another $15,000. And then on that last 50, that's another 15,937. Plus you're going to pick up that bonus. We're talking about 45,562. So you can stay where you are and make 39,000, or you can come with prosperity and make 45,000. We're talking about $6,000 difference. That's equivalent to an extra $500 a month for the whole year, just dropping into your bank account. But obviously, we're going to give it to you in one lump sum of $6,187. You ain't got to wait all year to get that, right? There's people who work part-time jobs and don't make $6,000 a month for the whole year on a part-time job, right? We're gonna just throw that in there for you. Another $1,500 to bring that up to 45,562. So you can see how at first glance you might think you're making more, but we have a powerful compensation plan here, and you can even start, like I said, higher in the comp plan if you got proven numbers. So let's look a little bit further at these numbers. We were doing 375 in the previous slides, but in this example, we're doing 395. So 395 at 60%, you're going to be making 237 a return. You just go out and get you 50 customers at 237. You picked up $11,850, right? At 100 customers, you picked up $23,700 if you do 100 customers at that same rate, right? Put this in perspective. Put this in perspective because I don't know if y'all see how powerful this is. If you make $15.19 per hour, you have to work a full year making 15.19 to make $23,700. If you're making $20 an hour, you still have to make 10 months. You still have to work 10 months to make $23,700. You would actually make $24,700 because I didn't even add the $10 bonus in here, and you would definitely qualify for the bonus. And you would qualify for another $500 bonus here. I didn't even put bonus money in these calculations, right? So you also get to refer other preparers. So let's say I say my cousin, I know he want to do taxes. My sister want to do taxes. The lady across the street want to do taxes. Let's say between now, because right now it's February, so we got about 7 months. So let's say between now and the end of the year. Oh, and we hire and recruit people all year long, not just we don't have this little window that we have to work within all year long. So let's say um between now and the start of the season, you refer 10 preparers to us, right? Them 10 preparers each do 50 returns. That's 500 returns. You're gonna make $25 referral fee for every return that everybody that you refer do, right? So that's another $12,500 that you just made. Add that to your 23.7. Now we're talking about 36,200. Put your bonus on here, another 37,200, right? So you can see how this can add up between you referring other preparers, and you don't have to do that. This is just one scenario. But between you referring other people, if you want to refer, and your own personal money, you can see how these numbers will begin to add up, and you can make a significant amount of money during tax season. Not only that, we make it easier for you to charge than some of the other companies out there because when it comes to the bank fees, the service bureau fees, the add-on fees, these fees can add up. Let me show you what I mean. All right, a lot of other companies out there fee you to death, right? You got technology fees, transmitter fees, service bureau fees, document fees, other add-on fees. These are the fees that are charged in addition to your 375 or 395 or whatever your prep fees charge for clients that use bank products. When I say bank products, for those of you who are new to the industry, if a client come to you and you want to give them the advance. Like I said, we can advance up to $7,000. You would be using a bank product in order to do that. All right. So if a client comes to you and they're gonna pay and they're not paying their fees out of pocket, you're gonna collect their fees using a bank product, right? All right. The bank collects our fees and then send them to us. So otherwise, the client will have to pay upfront out of pocket. Most people are not in the position to do that. The majority of our clients are bank product clients, right? So we love bank products. We absolutely love them. So the technology fee, transmitter fee, service bureau fee, all these other fees could potentially add up to $175, $225. Now imagine this. You charging $375, and then these other fees that has nothing to do with you and they don't come to you, they go to the between the bank and your service bureau, they're getting this other $225, but your client is still paying $600, right? Between your 375 and this 225, your client's still spending $600. All right. Now, not all bank fees are, not all fees are this high. Some companies have better fees, but here, with Prosperity through our service bureau is New Wealth. All right, between New Wealth, we only have $90 worth of fees. All right, when we're using bank products. So now you don't have to worry about your client saying, "My God, you told me you was going to charge me 375, and here I am paying 600." Then you're going to be like, "Well, those other fees had nothing to do with me. Those are service bureau and bank fees. Just, if you could pay the 375 up front, then you wouldn't have to absorb those other fees." Most people can't do that anyway, or not willing to do that, right? So we want to use the bank as much as possible anyway. So with us, you only got $90 in additional fees. So if you charge $200, that client's paying $290 and not $425. You see what I'm saying? So we make it easier for you to charge the amount of money that you need to charge for prep fee, because we're not hitting you over the head with all these other fees like some companies are doing. So let's talk about how you get started with us. There's a small investment, $199.97. Like I said, take the whole family out for a good meal at a good restaurant. You'll spend more than that. This is a one-time investment. All right. And if that's still even too tight for you, we're just going to allow you to pay $50. All right. That's your setup fee. And then we will defer the other 149.97 to come out of future commissions. Right. So you can really get started for as little as $50. I recommend, if you can, and I know I'm not in your pocket, I don't know how much money you have, but I recommend that you go ahead and pay the 199.97 up front. Here's why. When you do that, that's going to give you access to 10% higher starting commission. So instead of 50%, we'll start you off at 60 because you were willing to make that investment in yourself, right? And it's going to also give you access to commissions. So when you refer those people, let's say you refer John and John pays the 199.97 up front. Well, you're going to get 50% of the 150. Just call it $150, 149.97. Just call it $150. We don't share the $50 setup fee. We don't pay commissions on that. But the 149.97, or roughly $150, just rounded up, you're going to get a 50% commission on that, which is what? $75. So every time, so those 10 people that we talked about, those 10 preparers that we talked about in the previous scenario, if they all came in with the 199, you made a quick $750, right? So it's beneficial to you to get started with the 199.97, but I do understand it's tight for some people out here, and you may just need to do the $50. I do understand that, and that's what you need to do. Then do that. Come in, get in where you fit in, right? Get in where you fit in. But if you wanted that 10% extra bump in your commission, and to be able to earn commissions when you refer people, then do what you need to do to come up with that 199.97. Even if you shoot me a text or email, we can have a conversation, and you say, listen, let me come in with this 50, and then in 2 weeks, I'm gonna get that 149.97. We'll work it out for you, okay? But just communicate with me, and we'll get that worked out where you can still get that 10% bump and still earn your commission. So that's about it. That's about it. So, oh no, let me show you this. Because some people say, well, why charge anything at all? I got started with somebody last year and it was completely free. Okay, it was completely free. But if you was that person who was at that 70% contract, right? And you made that 39,000 instead of that 45,000, then it wasn't completely free. It cost you $6,187.50. That's what you left on the table. It wasn't free. Let me tell you something about this industry. Nothing is free, right? It just comes down to how they package it and present it to you. But you best believe you're paying for everything. Nothing is free. I charge a little bit up front because I want to work with serious people, right? I don't want to get 100. Well, I typically get more than 100 people to come to that shows interest during, during the tax season. But I wouldn't want to get a few hundred people coming in here for free, and most of them not serious, and they don't do not one tax return. They wasted my time. I set them up in the system. I gave them all my training, and they don't do not one tax return. Right? It was a waste of time because they was not serious. So I charge a little bit to try to weed out some of those people who are playing, and I have a better chance of dealing with serious people who are going to go out there and put some effort in, try to make some money, and try to make some serious changes for them and their family. So I like to say, don't trip over the dollars to pick up dimes, right? Small investment for the type of opportunity that you got in front of you. So with that being said, don't just be a regular ERO, be a hero. All right, this is our hero initiative. We're here to help people improve their economies. That's my goal. Improve your economy. See, I don't care about the economy. We let the politicians and the governments worry about the economy. But we want to improve your personal economy. We want to improve the amount of money coming in your household. We want to improve your lifestyle. We want to improve your economy. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Just everything you need to know is going to be in the description of this video, or you can reach back out to the person who shared this video and we can show you how to get started right away. Thanks for your time. I look forward to working with you, and I hope to see each and every one of you at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Coach Cam out. Peace.